Going on to Rome's. So with the NFL nearly upon us, it's a good time to talk about Randy Moss and the lesson of drafting BPA, best player available, because I know that a lot of people want to draft for need, and we've fallen into that trap as well because it's kind of tempting. But be true to your board, and then guess what? Some other positions that may not seem like needs now could turn into needs in the not so distant future. You're not just drafting for this season, you're drafting for 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, right? And Randy Moss, the pride of Marshall University, had some issues. Florida State, Notre Dame didn't work out, but stayed at home in state and just put up ridiculous numbers, historic numbers. Marshall in 96 was transitioning from 1AA and then moved up in 97, and Randy Moss was just sensational. Finalist for the Heisman. Charles Woodson won that year, but I mean, basically, Randy Moss was completely uncoverable, right? But there was issues in the draft, and he did take a tumble, and also the Cowboys passed on Randy Moss. How crazy is that? Apparently, so Zimmer was on staff as a defensive assistant at that time, and he wanted Moss, of course. But the Vikings made the smart choice, right? And Denny Green made the call. Hey, Coach. Hey, Randy, it's Coach Green. Something like that. And things certainly worked out. Also, so if you check out the bottom photo from the famous Es Muy Infamoso Thanksgiving game, you look at the bottom left, that is a hardcore "Don't Tell My Heart, My Achy Breaky Heart" mullet. That is fantastic. Hey, if you want one photo that sums up the mid-90s, mid to late 90s, that's it. Yeah, I mean, probably has a Marlboro Red short hard pack somewhere on his person. Good to go, right? But so we talked about BPA. So in 97, the Vikings had a pair of 1,000-yard receivers, and this was the era where things were opening up passing-wise, but it isn't the passing game that it is now. So 2,000-yard receivers together, I mean, that's pretty damn impressive. And also, Jake Reed had more receiving yards than Chris Catta. All right, so Jake Reed, 68 for 1138 and 6. Chris Carter, all he does is catch touchdowns, 89 for 1,069. Nice, as well as 13 touchdowns, right? So wide receiver wasn't necessarily a need for the Vikings. And if you look at the final 98 Vikings roster, after free agency and even after the draft, I mean, there's some spots where they could have used some freshening, right? So defensive line, especially defensive line depth, as evidenced by the NFC title game where there were some injuries. I mean, John Randall might have not played in the Super Bowl. It's very possible, right? But probably need some depth on the edge, as well as you always need help in the secondary. Even though the Vikings had a couple of great safeties in Robert Griffith and Orlando Thomas, and a couple of very good corners in Corey Fuller and Jimmy Hitchcock, I mean, certainly could have used some more depth there. Plus, that's exactly what Vikings fans would have said after they drafted Randy Moss. There's other needs on this team. Why would they draft another receiver? This is stupid. This is very stupid. Yeah, but you look at the draft after Randy Moss, I mean, there was some really talented defensive backs there. To Bucky Jones, right after Randy Moss, Sean Williams, Donovan Darius, a hard-hitting safety from Syracuse, was fantastic. R.W. McQuarters had a nice run with the Niners and the Bears. So Corey Chavis, 33, draft nasty. So there certainly was defensive backs to be had there. And again, if the Vikings were strictly drafting for need, they probably would have gone there. They probably would have gone on the defensive line as well. But it's okay. They did not. And this is the lesson here, because even though, as we said, the Vikings in a moderate passing era had 2 1,000-yard receivers, the Vikings were just like, nah, we are just going to take the best player available. Is it a need? No, but he's the top player on our board and a chance to be a generational talent. So this is obviously a macro version of everything that's going to go down in the draft. Do you draft for need, or you draft the best player on your board, and does he become a version, likely on a much smaller scale, the Randy Moss? And of course, the rest is history. Carter, Moss, and Reed formed 3 deep, and of course, Randy had a record-setting rookie season. Of course, the famous Thanksgiving game, 3 for 163 and 3 touchdowns, and everything was great. Everything was fantastic. But I don't know, like at the end of the day, like Randy Moss, he was one of my first draft crushes. I've talked about this before, but doing draft research, getting Sports Illustrated and Sport Magazine, and then just watching the Sports Center looking for the Marshall highlights. It's good times, man. It was fantastic. But again, this is just another clear sign. Hey, best player available. Just get talented dudes in this on this roster over and over and over again, and good things will happen. Don't care where they play. Don't care what it is. Don't care who they are, where they're from, as long as they're damn good. And as long as they love me, it'll be good times, man. Anyways, that's it. That's at Randy Moss and the lesson of BPA over need. Let us know your thoughts. Comment section. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol. Production value.